Having spent a dry night in a roadside shelter we'd found, we were still 30 kilometers from the town of O'Higgins. Our route was made up of a mix of rivers and lakes, winding its way down the valley. We were surrounded by panoramic views of the mountain peaks, all topped with fresh snow from the last week's cold and rainy weather. But for the next days at least, the sun was back, even if not the warmth. We crossed a lake that day, but from a distance looked more like a grassland than a lake. It turned out to be full of reeds, but still paddleable. As we got closer to Villa O'Higgins, the more snow we started seeing on the mountains, and the windier it became. Our neoprene gloves had become a standard part of our paddling kit now, no longer buried deep at the bottom of our packs. It's a remote town, O'Higgins, more of a small village really, that has a distinct end-of-the-world feel to it. Few people make it here, as access is not easy, requiring both effort and time. We took a few rest days here, as my friend had injured his ankle from hiking, and while he rested, I explored the surroundings. All sense of time seemed to disappear in this place, but we had to keep moving. We found a boat that could take us over Lago O'Higgins the next morning, if the weather allowed. They would tell us sometime in the evening. To our luck, the winds were calm, and we got the go-ahead. We heard tales from other travelers of people trapped for weeks because the weather was too bad for any boat to cross. After getting your passport stamped on the Chilean side, you had to then hike 10 kilometers to the border, and then another 10 to the Argentinian border post, where you get your next stamp. And this is considered a major route. I love it. There came the point as we were hiking when we set eyes on Mount Fitzroy for the first time. I was spellbound. It was love at first sight. The mountain exuberates such dominance on the landscape, yet in such an elegant way. And it's right there in the center of the valley. Every line in the landscape leads your eyes to Fitzroy. You just can't help but be drawn to it. The mountain would remain the center of our universe for the next few weeks. We started early the next morning to avoid strong winds as we crossed Lago Desierto. And while it started calm and beautiful, the wind slowly crept up on us from behind. The lake drained into a small river that we paddled as far as we could before having to portage. After a few kilometers on the road, however, we were able to get back onto the river, where we happily floated down almost the entire way to El Chalten. The views were incredible. And just like that, we reached El Chalten in Argentina, the most southern point of our journey, and our end goal. But this was not the end. We would still spend a few weeks here in the heart of classic Patagonia, hiking in the mountains.